Welcome to Enchanted Moments Podcast. I'm Monica.
I'm Spencer.
And we have creme brulee. Today we want to talk about time. There is a huge difference in the way we approach time today than our ancestors approached time. And in a lot of ways, they did a better job, I think, of managing their lives in a non-linear way. But the way time has worked for us as a planet, we have large time cycles, like 24,000 years is a precession cycle astrologically. Every 12,000, the Earth tends to shift its poles. Magnetic north and south change places. And then we have every couple of thousand years, 2 to 3, it depends on what kind of astrological calendar you use. We move from sign to sign to sign. So we were in Pisces, and now we're in Aquarius. Aries, sorry. No.
What are we talking about?
Time.
Yeah, but like the
Not
sun sign?
No, yeah, well, it actually goes the other way, so...
Oh, like we're in the age of Aquarius.
Right.
Okay.
Time
We are
ages.
in the age of Aquarius, yes.
Right.
Okay.
We're currently in the sign of Aries. No, not yet?
Oh, I don't know what we're talking about again.
Oh, never mind. We're going to confuse everyone.
Yeah.
We want to talk about time as ages. So there's 24,000 year cycle, there's a 12,000 year cycle, and then there are 2 to 3,000 year cycles where we switched from age to age. We were in the age of Pisces, now we're in the age of Aquarius.
Yes.
Okay, because instead of going from 12 to 1, as we would like for our astrology signs, we're going from Pisces backwards to Aquarius, and then it will go the other direction. So we are currently in the age of Aquarius when we talk about thousands of year cycles, not month to month astrology signs.
Correct.
There you go.
Not sun sign, yes.
Yeah. So every 12,000, around 12,000 years, the Earth goes through significant shifts, and we are seeing a lot of it now. If anyone pays any attention to the kinds of signs that we are having, the core of the Earth has stopped spinning. Normally it spins in one direction, and then the crust of the Earth moves in the opposite direction. And now basically the core has stopped moving, and the crust still moves. It will come to a stop and change directions. It's just the cycle the planet goes through. It's a natural planetary cycle. It is not an unusual cycle. The thing about it is our ancestors paid attention to what was happening in their environment, and they had shaman and others who gave them information about their environment and their world at large, and we don't. We totally are clueless and ignore it because we live in these little bubbles of, everything's just cool, right? But it is happening. So you are seeing more earthquakes. We are seeing more volcanic eruptions. We are seeing the Ring of Fire act up. We are seeing strange weather patterns. Hawaii, for example, is being flooded. So it is inherent that we start paying attention to our environment. Things will happen. This is a sun cycle that we go through as well, so we will have huge sun flares, which we are having, some that are actually exceeding any we've ever had before on the scale that they measure them. And now that we are totally dependent on electronics, solar flares can have a really, really big impact on our lives, because if we get a huge solar flare, CME, it can knock out everything you have that's electronically driven. Back when the last time they had these changes, they didn't have any that we know of anyway. life dependent. I mean, our microwaves run on electronics. Your car now runs on electronics.
Our refrigerators.
It's everything. So if something happened that knocked out electronics, we would be in real serious world of hurt. So it is going to be a time that we have to pay attention, and we need to not be what you would call a prepper, like the people who are building underground homes and stuff. I'm not suggesting that, but I am suggesting that you become more aware of things. And if you see that there's going to be some serious CMEs and solar flares, and they warn us of them, if they do, who knows, you could fill a bathtub with water, and you could do things like that. Nothing like saving up food for 20 years or whatever. I'm not suggesting that, but just be more aware of things that are going on and notice them. I guess about 11,700 some years ago, they've just found Göbekli Tepe within the last couple of decades, and that was a time that we had Earth cataclysms the last time. And it appears that, we don't know for sure, but it appears that they buried the whole place, and I would suspect that they knew things were coming, or they were experiencing serious Earth activity, and they wanted to save it for future generations. I think we're going to find that there were, in Cappadocia, they lived underground, basically in these little strange caves that they built into the volcanic tuft that, they figure about 11,000, 12,000 years ago. So people were just better at reading nature. Mm-hmm. And we've stepped back from the natural world to the point where, we may have really put ourselves in some form of jeopardy by not paying attention. Within that 12,000 year cycle, which we are approaching right now, there are those shorter ages. Mm-hmm. And we've come from a very strong matrilineal from about 200,000 years till about 5,000 years ago. It was very goddess-centered, very mother-centered, very Mother Earth-centered, nurturing, fertile, the whole business. But we got into a period of time which became extremely patriarchal. And the difference in those energy flows is that patrilineal, it's very competitive, individual-centered, so it's ego-focused, competition, earn, money is time, all those things, as opposed to compassionate, let's cooperate, come to some, end result that's good for everyone, not just one party. And we need to get back into a balance, because we're not saying that we should eliminate, intellectually focused kinds of approaches, but we also need to take that and temper it with compassion, empathy, mm-hmm. and coordination of everyone's needs. So hopefully we are getting back into some of that recognition that the divine feminine plays a role, not just divine masculine. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to say that we need to replace what we have with something else, but mm-hmm. we need to kind of bring into balance those intemperate, so that we aren't constantly in a situation that, we're attacking somebody else because they don't believe the same way. And we're doing that. So it would be very helpful if we could just look at things in terms of cooperation mm-hmm. and compassion. Mm-hmm. If we don't have those in our lives, our frequency is going to be extremely low, and we're not going to make those shifts that we really need to do at this point in time. But they have, the paradigms of you must achieve are not wrong, they're just overwhelming. And I think if we could get back to, we need to have goals and objectives and get somewhere, as opposed to, achieve. From the moment you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep at night, you're constantly bombarded with this message that, you have to be this way, or you're not manly if you don't believe this, or you know what I mean. It's just very overwhelming and beaten into us every single moment of every single day. And we need to step back from that kind of an attitude to get more soft. It's not weak, okay? You have to understand the difference. Empathy and compassion are not weaknesses. They're a difference in attitude and approach. It has nothing to do with strength or weak. So if you are a country that is compassionate, then that doesn't make you weak. It just makes you more willing to help others. And I think we as a country opened our doors and have sent aid all over the world, and that was our identity. And we need to make sure that we don't lose that wonderful identity. Many countries, many individuals who run countries need to approach the world as a, not one world order like some kind of crazy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we need to look at the planet as an entire organism, and we participate within that organism, and so we need to keep it healthy, and we need to keep it, moving and loving and, nurturing to everybody on the planet, or I think the planet will throw us off, personally, but who knows. But anyway, I want you to think about time in bigger chunks than we're used to. We're used to a calendar, which came into being like within the last about 4,000 years, 4 to 5 at the most, where we started tracking time linearly, like day to day to day to day. And you have to do that to make it through your work week. I get that. But I want you to start thinking in terms of time as bigger chunks and what we can do within those bigger spaces or ages to create a better environment for everyone who is wandering the planet right now. And learn to cooperate. I think that's super important. So think about time differently. We talked about the Mayan calendar and the 13-month moon calendar, and those are ways of starting to get into a more flexible time environment for yourself and thinking, and this will help too. Think of it in big chunks of time, and what can we achieve within chunks of time, so it's not has to be done by tomorrow. But be supportive and cooperative with others and compassionate, and I think we'll be just fine. So if you have questions about time or anything that we talk about in our podcast, please feel free to leave comments or get a hold of us at the shop. We're more than happy to talk with you. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks.